as a pair of CFPs, we're going to talk about an emerging area in the financial field, and I really want to get your take on this. It's called solo agers. Okay, the financial world loves to make up new terms. And so basically a person that is, aging on their own.
Well, so I've heard a couple of different definitions for this, solo agers. So it could be somebody who's living on their own and doesn't have children, or it could be a couple who don't have children either, because ultimately one of them will be living alone. Sometimes I've heard them referred to as elder orphans, and I don't like that terminology. So I like solo agers better.
Well, it used to be we called them dinks. Double income, no kids.
Kids, right.
But maybe they're like NINK, no income, no kids.
Right. Oh, that's terrible.
I know. We'll make something up.
Right. But I'm a solo ager, actually.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I am. So I think that, it's really key for a solo ager to have their planning in order.
Okay.
And make sure that their financial house is in order, that their estate planning house is in order.
All right. So you're a solo ager. So what is the first thing that we need to get you to have?
So you have to make sure that you were really good to your niece and nephew while they were growing up, because I have brainwashed them. But I need to make sure, so one, I need to have a really good handle on my finances, figure out how long I'm going to have to work. I need to have very good documents in order, because if I don't, the state can make the decision for me, and I don't want strangers taking care of me.
Sure.
So,
and you don't want somebody else making decisions for you that you haven't entrusted.
Exactly. I think those are probably like the two biggest things. I think the third thing, solo agers really need to think about where they want to live and what kind of environment would be best for them based on where they are and what their what their conditions, what conditions they may have and where they want to be, where they see themselves. They have CCRCs, we always have, or, assisted living or cohabitation, which I really like that, like a shared living agreement. Some people, choose to live at home and stay at home. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of that because, or maybe that's just for me personally, but you tend to be, you can get isolated. And I think, you lose your social skills. And if you stay at home, like sometimes your family members or your friends are moving away or they pass away. So it's really, that's not my number one choice.
Yeah, that's good. So with the financial aspect, what I'm hearing you say is we really need to make sure, now this is true for everybody, but need to make sure that you know exactly what you can have for a budget, you know how much income you can have. You definitely can't really count on anybody else with the risk of running out.
Exactly.
I mean, it's even more important.
Exactly. And I always say, everybody needs to plan, but this community, this group really needs to plan.
So we need an income plan, a retirement income plan. We need a high degree of certainty.
Yes.
Longevity a factor.
Hopefully.
Of course, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully, that's good. And so we need to plan for that and have a lot of...
and long-term care, too. You know what? If you become incapacitated, if you can't dress yourself, if you can't feed yourself, if you can't bathe yourself, who's going to do it? And you don't have those kids rushing in to come and take care of that for you. But also even some of the less obvious things, who's going to point out that you shouldn't be driving anymore? Or who's going to help you do the research on the different facilities? Or, who's going to notice the decline in physical or cognitive capacity?
Well, I know it sounds self-serving, but I'm going to say it anyway, because that's one of the roles that a lot of people don't know that certified financial planners take, is that when we are meeting and working with clients, I often will tell clients, look, if I notice, they're getting a little older, I'm like, I want to have a conversation, and I want you to know that, is it okay if I see you starting to not be as quick and maybe not having quite the sharp memory you've already had? Can I mention it to you? Can I talk to you about it? Because we're on the front line.
Exactly. We have a lot that we have to pay attention to, we're responsible for.
Sure.
what I have started, I've been doing this long enough that what I have started to do is to ask my clients up front,
Yes.
when I first start working with them, who's a trusted contact?
Right.
Just in case. Wait, what do you mean? Do you think I'm losing capacity? No, I don't think you are now, but if we all live long enough, we will.
Right.
So, I think it's critical to, know who those people are. And if you do it early enough, it doesn't seem as threatening, and
Right.
They're not put off as much.
Exactly, that's good. Go back to the documents for a minute. Are we talking about power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, wills, trust, your estate planning?
Yes. You really need all of those documents, and you really need to think about who you trust, who you feel comfortable with, who you think shares your values, who understands what your medical, everything.
All your preferences.
Everything. What your preferences are. Good word. So if it's not somebody that you know and trust, then you need to bring in a professional
Right.
to actually help with that. And it could be a bank. It could be some sort of trust company.
Sure.
It could be a financial planner.
Absolutely.
A fiduciary to really handle all of your financial needs.
Yeah.
And medical needs too.
Well, the medical is, of course, a big piece
Yeah.
of it, but you've got to select your fiduciaries, and the fiduciaries are people that are working for you and putting your interests first, right? And you hire them. It should be something that is an active decision and process for the solo ager, that they're not leaving it to chance.
If you would like more information about the topics and our guests featured in this series, please visit our website at PlanStrongerTV.com. Also, if you have a question you would like David to answer, please send it to questions@PlanStrongerTV.com.